Science chapter 8, that is motion. In the previous class we already discussed about speed, velocity, displacement and distance. Now we will discuss acceleration. Acceleration, it is the rate of change of velocity, the rate of change of velocity is called acceleration. Here acceleration, that is denoted by A, can be calculated as change in velocity by time. Change in velocity by time, or change in velocity, that is final velocity minus initial velocity by time. Here acceleration can be calculated as final velocity minus initial velocity divided by time. If initial velocity is denoted by small u and final velocity is denoted by v, acceleration denoted by a and time denoted by t, then a is equal to v minus u by t. Acceleration a is equal to v minus u by t. Next, if the velocity increases time to time, when it is observed the velocity in increasing, then acceleration is said to be positive. If velocity is increased, then the acceleration will be positive, that is v is greater than u. Final velocity is more than initial velocity. Here velocity is increased, in that case acceleration will be positive. If v is less than u, v is less than u, that means initial velocity is more and final velocity is less. When the velocity of the body decreases, then in that case acceleration becomes negative. Here it is positive acceleration, it is negative acceleration. This type of negative acceleration is called deceleration or retardation. It is called deceleration or retardation. If initial velocity is greater than final velocity, then the acceleration becomes negative, which is called deceleration or retardation. Next we will discuss about the equation of motion. There are three equations of motion. Equations of motion. Three equations are there. V is equal to u plus at, s is equal to ut plus half at square, and b square minus a square is 2as. These are the equations of motions. How to derive this equation of motions? To derive the equation of motions, we have to understand about the graphical representation of motion. Graphical representation, like when we take that velocity time or displacement time relation, then we can represent the type of motion a body shows. Like when displacement and time axis are there. That this x-axis shows the time required for the motion of body, and y-axis shows how much the body is displaced here. If this straight line shows the motion of the body, then the body is said to be in uniform motion, because it is the body is displaced here, equal distance, equal displacement is showing with equal intervals of time. The body is said to be uniform motion. Here, the body is in uniform motion. Next, if it is displacement and it is time, it is a straight line parallel with time axis, then the body is said to be in rest. Here, the body is said to be in rest because the body shows equal displacement every time. After every intervals of time, the body shows a fixed displacement. It happens when the body is in rest. Next, it is displacement. This one is time. Here, this type of motion, which is not a straight line, sometimes it displaced less, sometimes it displaced more with equal intervals of time. This type of motion of body is called non-uniform motion. Here it is uniform motion, which is represented by straight line, rest, which is parallel with time axis, and not a straight line, a curved line shows non-uniform motion of the body. On the representation of graph, we can understand about the motion of the body in this displacement and time relation. Next, we will represent the acceleration of the body on velocity and time axis. Here, this shows about the velocity of the body also, like uniform motion is shown here. That means the body is moving with uniform velocity. Non-uniform motion is here. The body is moving with non-uniform velocity. But when the body is in rest, the velocity here 0. Here, velocity is 0. The body is in rest, means velocity is 0. Here, velocity is uniform. Here, velocity is non-uniform. On this displacement time graph, we can know about the condition of the velocity, whether it is uniform, non-uniform, or whether it is 0. We can understand about the velocity of the body. Next, we will discuss about the velocity and time axis. Here, velocity axis. This one is time axis. The x-axis shows time and y-axis shows velocity. When it shows this type of velocity, this type of graph, then acceleration. This acceleration is positive. It is velocity, it is time. If it is like this, it is negative velocity. It is positive, negative acceleration. Positive acceleration, negative acceleration. It is positive acceleration, or simply it is called acceleration. This one is negative acceleration. That is called retardation. here the acceleration is 0. Acceleration of the body is 0 because velocity is not changing here. The velocity remains constant. If the velocity of a moving object remains constant, then the acceleration becomes 0 here. Here acceleration is negative, here acceleration is positive. After time interval, the velocity will increase here. Acceleration is positive. After some time, the velocity is decreasing. So acceleration is negative here. Next we will verify or we will derive the equations of motions graphically. How to derive it? Here, that is x and y axis intersect each other. This x axis shows the time and y axis shows the velocity. If an object or a body is moving with some velocity, then it is a. With the applying of force, the velocity rises, and this AB shows the rising of velocity here, and this changing of velocity takes t time, that is OC. It is the time taken for the body to increase the velocity from this OA to BC. It is used. It is V. That means this BC is V. It is initial velocity, final velocity, U and V. And this time is T. We have to find how much area or what will be the acceleration. What will be the acceleration shown by the object or by that body which is moved from initial velocity OA to final velocity BC. When a body is displaced or it is moved from OA up to the velocity BC, then what will be the acceleration? Acceleration will be the change of velocity by time taken, that is change in velocity by time. Here acceleration is slope. It is the slope of graph. And slope of graph is calculated as y-intercept by x-intercept. Slope of the graph becomes y-intercept by x-intercept. Here, y-intercept, that is total it is V, this much is U, that it is D, it is OD is V, OD minus OA, it is the intercept, this part is the intercept, OD minus OA by x-intercept, it is only OC from 0 to this point C, it is OC. That is y2 minus y1 by x2 minus x1. y2 minus y1, x2 minus x1. Since it is started from 0, x1 is 0. OD is acceleration A is OD is V minus U by T. This implies AT is equal to V minus U. This implies b minus u is equal to 80 and b is equal to u plus 80. It is derived the first one. B is equal to u plus 80. Next, we will derive the second and third equation of motions here. If you observe how much distance it is covered, the body when it is started and when it is observed. That means when the body started from initial velocity u up to when it is observed the final velocity v, how much distance it is covered by that body during the motion for the time interval t. Distance, that is s, is equal to area of trapezium OABC. Since OABC is a trapezium, then the area of this trapezium will be half into sum of parallel sides into height. Sum of parallel sides into height. Here, parallel sides are OA and BC. These two are parallel sides. OA plus BC. And height is the perpendicular distance between the parallel sides, that is OC. So S is equal to half. OA plus BC. OA is U, BC is V, and OC is T. OC is T. This implies half U plus. Here the value of V is substituted as U plus 80. It is U plus 80 into T. Half u plus u to u plus 80 into t. This is equal to half 80 to u is u plus half 80 whole into t. This implies s is equal to ut plus half 80 square. Here it is derived the second one. Here the value of v is substituted as u plus 80, then u plus u becomes 2u. Then half is multiplied with both the factors 2u and 80. Half into tu becomes u and half into 80 becomes half 80. Next, this t is multiplied with the factors present inside the bracket. It is ut plus half 80 square. So displacement or the distance covered, so this s is equal to ut plus half 80 square. Next, third one is v square minus u square is 2as. Now we will derive the third one. V square minus u square is 2as. So from this step, half into u plus v into t, we have to put the value of t here. This t can be written as v minus u by here half into u plus v can be written as v plus u, and t is v minus u by a. Now this s is equal to LCM is 2a. Here 2 into a 2a and v plus u into v minus u. This 2a comes towards left becomes 2as is equal to v plus u into v minus u, that is v square minus v square. Therefore v square minus v square is 2as. It is derived the third one. V square minus v square is 2as. Here the value of t is substituted from this first equation, v minus u by 2 and a both are in denominator written here 2a, and the numerator they are present v plus u into v minus u, that is the form a plus b into a minus b, the identity becomes equal to b square minus c square. 2a multiplied with s becomes 2as. So b square minus c square equal to 2as. It is derived. Here question: a car starts from rest and attains a velocity of 20 km per hour in 5 seconds. We have to find the acceleration of that car and how much distance the car is covered during this time. First we have to understand what are given here. A car starts from rest. It means the car initially was rest. The car had velocity 0. That means initial velocity was 0. Here u is equal to g, and after 5 seconds, that means time is 5 seconds. The car at velocity 20 km per hour, that is final velocity 20 km per hour. And we have to find the acceleration here. We have to find acceleration and the distance covered. That means we have to find s. We have to find these two, acceleration and displacement. How much distance the car is covered, and we have the data: initial velocity, final velocity, and time taken. But here the time is recorded in second and the velocity is recorded in kilometer per hour. Both are different. It is in CGS system, it is in SI system. So we have to make them equal units. Either we have to make the seconds into hour, or we make this kilometer per hour into meter per second. It is easy to convert one unit to another unit, another form. Like 20 km per hour can be converted into meter per second by multiplying with 5 by 18. 20 into 5 by 18 meter per second. Now it is 2 9 here, 2 10 here. It becomes 50 by 9 meter per second. This final velocity is in meter per second here. 50 by 9 meter per second. Now we can find acceleration. A is equal to v minus 2 by t. This is equal to v is 50 by 9 minus u is 0 whole divided time, that is 1 by 5. This 50 by 9 into 1 by 5 is 10 by 9. This is equal to 1.1 meter per second square approximately. It is 1.1. Here acceleration is obtained as 1.1 meter per second square. Now we have to find how much distance is covered by the car during this 5 seconds. Here s is equal to ut plus half at square. The equation of motion ut plus half at square. Put the value of u here, 0 into t. T is 5 plus half into a into t square. A, that is 10 by 9, or you can use 1.1. Then it is 10 by 9, and t square, that is 5 square. 0 into 5 becomes 0 plus half into 10 by 9 into 25. This becomes 25 into 10 is 250 by, or you can cancel here. 2 5 525 125 by 9 meter. This is equal to 13.8 meter approximately. now we'll discuss about uniform circular motion. When the body moves in a circular path, when a body moves in a circular path, then motion of the body is called circular motion. And if the body moves uniformly in this circular path, then the type of motion of the body is called uniform circular motion. Uniform circular motion. Uniform, that means the speed of the body is constant. Circular, that means body is moving in a circular path. Whenever a body moves in a circular path with a constant speed, then the motion of the body is called uniform circular motion. And when the body is in uniform circular motion, then at every point the direction of body will change. If it is observed at point A, the direction of its velocity is the tangent at that point. If it is considered at point B, then the direction of velocity at this point B is in this tangent, the direction of this tangent. If it is observed at point C, then direction of velocity is this one. In this way, the direction of velocity is observed, but the direction at every point on this circle are different with each other. So the direction of velocity changes at every point, even if speed is constant. Here, the speed of the body is constant, but direction is changing at every point. The direction is changing at every point. So, this type of motion forms acceleration. The types of motion in this uniform circular motion is called accelerated motion. This uniform circular motion is also called accelerated motion even if the body shows a constant speed in the path. When it is in motion, it shows constant speed, but the direction at every point will change. That's why acceleration happens here. Whenever a body is in uniform circular motion, the body is said to be in accelerated motion. Like on the planets, they moves around the sun. Satellites moves around the planet. All moves with equal speed, but the direction of motion changes at every point. So this type of motion is said to be accelerated motion. And the velocity shown here by the body is called angular velocity. Here this angular velocity is how much angle, the angular displacement by time taken. How much angle it is produced at center, that is angular displacement, means the arc, length of arc, that is angular displacement by how much time it is required to move from this point to this point, that is time taken. Here angular velocities if angular velocity is denoted by omega, this is equal to theta, that is angular displacement by time taken. Angular displacement by time taken. It is angular displacement. Angle comes by the arc at the center by time taken to move from this point to this point. That is omega is equal to theta by t. That is angular velocity.